Viewer discretion is advised.
What up, Heel Faction? Welcome to Heel Shit, Week in Wrestling. I'm Dark Cordz, that's Draven Grimes. De La Rosa will be along in a little while. Do us a big favor, like, subscribe to the channel, and comment on the video. It really helps with the algorithm. Also, if you're listening on the podcast, set us up for automatic downloads, follow the podcast, and let's get into it. First of all, before we get... Uh-oh, here comes Dilla. First of all, before we get to the content, I want to push the merch. Don't forget, HeelShitShop.com. We got beanies, hats, shirts, hoodies, everything. Also, all social media and YouTube and Rumble at Heel Shit Podcast. We make that shit real simple. Also, new news. We just started a Twitch and a Kick account, so we'll be doing some live streaming pretty soon. It'll be Twitch / Heel Shit Pod, Heel Shit Pod, and then Kick is Heel Shit Podcast. Come check us out. How you guys doing? Welcome, Della.
Welcome. What did you say? What kind of account besides the Twitch?
Kick is a Twitch competitor.
Oh, I was gonna say, you mean the messaging app? Because I haven't heard that in a long time.
No, it's kick.com.
It's cool.
It's a streaming platform.
Next week we're going to debut MySpace.
You stupid.
The best pro wrestling podcast on MySpace.
Yeah. But as far as how I'm feeling, I felt like I got drop kicked by a Tyrannosaurus today. It's been a fucking day, my guy.
Yeah. So, let's get into the debacle of the weekend. We're going to do an entire episode on this like we did with the Night of Champions reaction and review. It's not worth that much time. Double or Nothing, in my opinion, was the least the least satisfying pay-per-view AEW has ever done. And that's fine. I mean, every promotion has a shit pay-per-view every once in a while. But Draven and I were at the AMC Theater Orange Park to watch this thing live. And we left with 2 matches left. I mean, I have never not finished a pay-per-view card, especially an AEW pay-per-view card. But come the fuck on. This was a whole mess. We didn't know.
That's also before half the fucking theater walked out too.
Yeah.
Don't forget that.
Yeah. I had initially had a lot of pistivity of the way that the women's championship match went down. Then found out that Jamie Hayter was legitimately hurt before going into it and really couldn't do anything, so they didn't have much of a choice. She's gonna heal up. She'll be back. I'm sure she'll win the title again at Wembley. I don't know. There's a lot of weird shit that happened. The entire card was way overproduced, overbooked on all the matches. The first 2 or 3 matches completely looked like scrambled eggs. It was just
Dog shit.
Complete dog shit. You know, the Jade Cargill match, the match itself with Taya was probably the best match up until that point.
Yep.
So, there's that. I'm glad that Chris Statlander came out and won the title. I'm confused by how that shit went down and why they did it that way. I was very confused as to, okay, she just had a good 10-minute match with Taya, a really good match, and then they let her just go into having another match and losing the belt. Like, wouldn't you promote that match? That's a big match. Chris Statlander coming back, facing Jade for the title. The rumors have been for a long time that she was going to be the one to dethrone Jade Cargill. So why wouldn't you build it? Like, Go ahead, Driven.
I'll let you go first on that one.
So both the women's matches are on my list of things to talk about. So since we're talking about Jade, I'll start there. Okay. I mean, great that she has finally lost the title because I think it was long overdue. However, the way that they went about it, I think was complete bullshit. I was upset at the fact that they did it that way. Honestly, I mean, it's great for Chris. I'm glad that she's back. Hopefully she, stays away from the injuries and whatnot. That's awesome. Great for that. But like that could have been done on another pay-per-view. That could have been on one of their, specialty shows, something, anything, But for you to put on a match that she put on with Taya, which was, I think, one of her better matches that she's ever had, I think was wonderful. I think to have Taya just roll out of the ring and then this man be like, yeah, she could fight more. Who else you got? And then for her to lose the belt like that, I think was stupid. I think it was a poor booking decision, and I really want to know what drugs Tony Khan is doing because they're not working for him.
Cocaine.
Well, he needs to stop doing that cocaine because it ain't working for him.
Nose candy.
I don't think so, but yeah, no, the whole night was full of horrible booking decisions. I mean, every match was so over-agented and over-scripted. Like, they just tried to pull too many gimmicks, too many things that had to have perfect timing that didn't. It was just a rough show.
In my opinion, we're going to go back to the Jade Cargill thing. I'm pretty sure we all universally said that Jade was going to lose the title here at Double or Nothing. Now, I would have been okay with Jade finishing the match and then Chris come out and challenge her. Whether it be on Dynamite, whether it be the debut of Collision, or fuck, even if it's at Wembley Stadium, that'd be a fucking great match to see, which we still might. But it's just be reversed. It almost feels as if there are too many hands in the pot. And I know Tony Khan's supposed to be the booker, the one that signs off on everything, the one that books everything. But with Sunday night, everything felt off. It felt like, and you can attest to this because I've had to deal with this shit before down in Palatka. Everyone had their opinions and everybody thought they were right, and it just felt like Tony said, "Fuck it, do what you want to, as long as you don't fuck up my main events." That's how it felt.
Yeah.
Some things such as the unsanctioned match, shit happens to where shit doesn't work out the way you want, especially if you're working with a fucking big ass chain. Shit like that's kind of understandable. But Like with the fucking battle royal, that felt like fucking scrambled eggs out the ass. The fucking 6-man tag at the pre-show, honestly, after seeing what I saw, was one of the better matches of the fucking night, and that's fucking sad to say. Yeah, what else?
The battle royal was fine.
It still felt like scrambled eggs though. The damn ladder match felt more controlled than anything else on that show.
Mm-hmm.
And that's with fucking Warlord doing the massive swanton bump. That's with fucking Luchasaurus doing his bullshit. And that's with fucking Glock Anderson deciding to go, fuck it, I'm going to be Walking Dead on his goddamn thumb. Like, that was the most controlled match. And it's not supposed to be that way. Again, it just feels like there were too many hands in the pot. Everybody wanted to get their shit in. So everybody's pulling a fucking Brian Cage. I was terribly disappointed in that show. Like you said, it's probably the worst fucking pay-per-view they've ever put on. It felt worse than a fucking house show. It almost felt like you go to some backwoods town up in Alabama, pay $5 to sit under a big-ass circus tent and watch guys that have never even been trained.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to mince words about it. Yeah, the pay-per-view sucked, but I have complete faith that Forbidden Door is going to be dope. All In's going to be dope. Like, this is just, unless proven otherwise, this is just a fuck-up fluke. And not only that, but none of the builds were great. I mean, there was no long-term storylines in this, you know, save for the last two matches. I guess you could say the Pillars and the Elite BCC was decently long-term storytelling, but no other match on the card had a build that was worthy of a pay-per-view.
Well, I would argue the Adam Cole Chris Jericho build that went about 5-6 weeks.
That was a good build, but the build up to it was greater than the product that we got at the pay-per-view. Fuck yeah!
Oh, you guys didn't like Wizard Chris Jericho?
Oh, fuck that.
I couldn't stand how they kept getting. You could tell they were visibly flustered every time the chain didn't do what they wanted it to do. Like at the end, when Cole couldn't unwrap it from his knee to start pummeling him with the chain, like he could have taken an extra second and made sure that shit was off of his leg so he could wrap it around his fist. Like,
yeah,
you know, these are just mistakes that you wouldn't expect to see on that level.
No. And the thing with Chris, and I've been a fan of him since fucking Mexico, since he came up to fucking America. There comes a time where you just need to start stepping back some. He's at that fucking point, my guy. Yeah. He does not have the ability to go with the talent that Tony Khan has.
Yeah, no.
I'm sorry. Unless he's going to work a program with fucking Christian, who at this point could probably outwork fucking Chris Jericho. Jericho just needs to start stepping aside and let this newer talent fucking get over and quit trying to get himself over. Go worry about Fozzy. Go worry about your books. Go worry about the Jericho Cruise. You have 100 other things to worry about.
Well,
you've done your part for AEW.
Do help book, help creative. But
that's his problem. He's in charge of his own fucking creative. You heard the interview that I played before the show started.
If he could aid Tony in booking the other stuff, not have full control, and not necessarily even book himself, but he's got too much knowledge to just send out to pasture.
He also has too much freedom. And that's something that, as much as we fucking hate the motherfucker, that is something Vince McMahon fucking knows about. If you give somebody too much fucking freedom, they're going to take it and fucking run with it. That's why he had fucking Russo on a fucking chain. That's why he had Cornette on a chain. That's why he had Heyman on a fucking chain.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
Tony's
why he had
still
all
in that...
those girls chained up.
Hey now.
Fuck Vince McMahon. Just
agreed,
yeah.
But I'm just saying, Vince also had that mindset of there is such a thing as giving too much.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, he had a stranglehold on the fucking company, and up until fucking like, I would argue fucking '08 was the last great year that he was fully in charge before shit started going downhill. And that's with the CM Punk shit in 2012. That's with the Daniel Bryan Yes Mania, the Brock Lesnar Beast Run, the Shield breakup, all that shit. I still think 2008 was the last great year of Vince McMahon booking.
Yeah.
But again, fuck Vince McMahon. We're talking about AEW right now.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, I'm loving a lot of things that AEW are doing. I mean, I love the title run Cassidy's on. I love the tag team situation, even though that match was okay.
Awful.
That match, everybody just felt off.
Yeah.
Like it was just an off night. And everybody has off nights.
Sure.
Like even at the beginning where fucking Mark was just standing there looking at the pinfall. Because you got a guy that's never fucking refereed before. I mean, shit like that's going to happen.
Absolutely.
Fucking Cash forgetting he's wearing his fucking title belt.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I know.
They already took my belt.
It's right there.
Shit.
Oh,
Here you
okay.
go. God
I love the fact Dax called him out on fucking social media. I love that shit. But, I mean, even the tag team match, I enjoyed the tag team match for what it was, even with all its fucking faults.
And you know
there was
what?
a lot of shit that could have just taken a little bit more time to fucking go over.
And if they're going to have Karen Jarrett on TV, they
No.
need to discount the pay-per-view at least $5. All right? Because that bitch is hard to look at.
There's a reason she's called Karen.
Jesus Christ.
God,
there was
damn.
some dude on Facebook when I first made the comment about her showing up at AEW, being like, he said something like, "She's the most beautiful woman in wrestling. You don't know what you're talking about." And I'm like, dude.
Yeah, 20 years ago.
Dude, she looks more like Bruce Jenner than Kim Kardashian. All right, let's not fucking blow smoke up her ass. All right, well, I think we beat that to death. Let's move on to Raw. But before we do that, here's a word from our sponsor, Castell Vodka.
Vodka evolved. Castell. Indulge in the red revolution.
You get my message?
I did get your message.
What message?
Jill's over there just
We're talking about you, Dark.
Place, so I put the message to her.
About what?
I'm trying to get her to like bald men again.
Oh, yeah. Not gonna happen.
I never stopped liking
Bald
bald
and
men.
proud,
Oh my god, you guys
bald
need to
and
get
proud.
over that.
Never. Have you
Clearly-
not been listening to
clearly
the
with a
podcast?
nerve.
She's not been listening.
She is not. No. Oh, well.
Oh,
Anyway, there was a Raw on Monday.
There was. Were you not expecting there to be one?
not really, no.
It's always a surprise. Yeah, I don't know. I imagine that you're gonna get into some kind of Stratus talk when you get to your stories, Della, but is there any more woman that embodies who gives a fuck like Trish Stratus right now? Like, seriously, I couldn't give a like last night. I actually posted this. I said Zoe Stark is really getting the rub from Trish. I already don't give a shit about her. All right.
I never give a shit about Zoe Stark, though.
Well, it's one thing. I mean, she's all right, but
let's be real.
But come the
All
fuck
right,
on. Can
let's
you?
be 100% real quick. I don't know shit about this bitch. I don't know about Trish Stratus in the past fucking 5 years. So y'all two just mince words, and I'm just going to do what Della did and just get on my phone and randomly text people.
Well, no, I'm not gonna sit here and just hate on her, but
I'm not gonna hate on Trish Stratus because Trish Stratus can be my baby mama if she wanted to be. You know.
Come on, she's a fucking shadow of her former self. She was on there.
She looks good for her age.
She was on there last night. Like, how dare you mess up this perfect face? I'm like, several plastic surgeons have already done that.
I don't need to look at her face to admire her body.
Look, if you put a picture of her now next to a picture of her in 2002, they don't even look like the same fucking person.
I will agree with that. But she looks good for her age right now. And in 2002, she was younger.
You know what it would look like?
She's a little wrinkly, but you know.
No,
wrinkles need that too, just like bald men.
There's a difference between aging and whatever the fuck has happened to her.
I got you. Okay, so Dark, if you take a picture from her from 2002 and you put it next to a picture of her right now, you would really think that the new WWE Defining Moments figure just came out and they're doing Trish Stratus. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, it's like Trish is now that crazy ass old aunt to who she was in 2002. There is.
Can she be a step aunt though?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Then I'm with
my
Della.
God.
I can just put a bag over her head.
Her face is shaped like a sugar skull now. Her
But
big ass cheek.
You just put on a mask or like
big ass
like a bag and
cheekbones,
you'd be good.
sunken cheeks.
Close your
Trish,
eyes. Imagine somebody else.
I need you to put
Why
on this
do
Draven
that
Grimes
when I
mask for me.
can not work as
5
hard and
minutes.
get somebody hotter?
Well, I don't think you need to be getting anybody hot over there, Doc.
My wife is plenty hot, thank you very much.
Exactly. Good shit.
I feel like I'm left out of this conversation.
Well, that's because you don't know who either of the bitches are.
I know his wife. We have good
Well,
conversations.
I would never call his wife a bitch. Don't throw me under the bus like that.
You threw us under the bus fucking 4 weeks ago.
I didn't make you bald. That's a life decision.
No, that was not a life decision. That was a stretch
we
decision
decided
caused by
that,
bookers.
huh? We said, you know what would round out my look? Male pattern baldness. That would fucking really round my shit out. You know, I would really be much more happy with a cul-de-sac on my head.
You can just call me Mr. Belding. Fuck you.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But no, I mean,
what else happened on Raw? AJ and Seth teamed together. That was pretty dope.
Yeah. Which confused the fuck out of me. Because even if it's a fucking one-off, what's the fucking point of a brand split if SmackDown guys are going to show up at Raw?
Oh my God. Don't even get me started on this brand split. I've been saying since the draft, before the draft started, that this was going to be a bunch of bullshit, and it continues to be a bunch of bullshit. I don't know why you called this a draft. I don't know why you gave it a special episode. I don't know why you made a belt for a brand that everyone's just gonna mix with each other. It was pointless. It was like 3 weeks of dumb shit. And it's just going to continue to be more weeks of dumb shit. And I don't care how much Triple H tries to rectify it. There's no rectifying the dumb shit that you're doing. All right, end rant.
She just described a Rockville orgy in like fucking 30 seconds.
All right.
Shame. But no, she's right. Like the brand split hasn't been fucking relevant since 2010. It doesn't matter how many times they fucking switch up their fucking rosters. SmackDown guys show up on Raw. Raw guys show up on fucking SmackDown. It's fucking pointless.
It's called a draft because it's something we're forced to endure.
If you're gonna do a fucking brand split, fucking hold up to it.
Yeah.
2002.
Well, we're see AEW hold up to their brand split. We'll see what happens there. Maybe they can learn something from them.
Oh, we already know that's going to hold up a lot better because there's just some people that don't want to work with Punk, and there's some people that don't want to work with the Young Fucks and Omega.
Well, that's true, I guess. They'll have a better time keeping everybody separate because everybody hates each other.
And that's why you'd see me on Collision before you see me on Dynamite.
Yes, sir. You know, I'm wondering what they're going to... Because we already know that Punk... if the rumors are true, obviously. But we're going to get Miro, we're getting Thunder Rosa, we're getting several really top stars on Collision. So I'm wondering what's going in their mind doing that, because you know a Saturday night show is not going to pull the ratings that a Wednesday night show is.
My opinion, I think Dynamite is on TBS now, right? And Rampage is on TNT. Okay, and Rampage is supposed to be like that in between show, right? For both brands. So. Okay, metaphorically speaking, I think they're going to build up the fucking TNT title on Collision.
Well, I think that's actually where Orange is going to be most of the time.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense because Punk has always wanted to build up the workhorse title, whatever company he's been in.
Right.
WWE, Ring of Honor, hell, even ECW when it had one fucking championship. But he always wanted to build up the secondary title because it builds up new talent.
Yeah.
But then again, what does that mean for, let's say, FTR goes to fucking Collision and they're the tag team champions? Are they going to do what Sammy and KO is doing and bouncing from show to show?
I think all the champions are going to be fair game for all the shows, because it wouldn't make sense otherwise for their people on Collision to never be able to go for the AEW championship. You know, so...
Well, I get that. I get where you're coming from. Let's just hope Tony doesn't decide to make 4 more fucking championships.
Yeah.
See that in our future.
Here's a fucking idea for you.
Hey, the WWE has 3 world titles. Why can't AEW?
Technically 4 if you include the NXT.
Yeah, that's true.
But here's an idea. You got Dynamite, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got Collision debuting.
Mm-hmm.
Rampage is basically going to be a filler show for both fucking brands to fill up their fucking spots. Why not turn fucking Rampage into fucking Ring of Honor so we can have fucking Ring of Honor and I don't have to pay $10 a goddamn month?
True that. I refuse to get Honor Club. I'm not paying for any more fucking services to watch wrestling.
I bounce off a buddy of mine so I don't have to pay for it. But it's still annoying as fuck. I would rather watch it on my 85-inch TV in the living room than the small-ass 12-inch monitor.
I would rather us get the channel where you could watch fucking Impact down here. I'm not paying for Impact Zone. I'm not paying for Honor Club. Fuck all that shit. I pay for Peacock just for wrestling, and I buy AEW pay-per-views. That's all I'm fucking doing.
I don't even buy pay-per-views. I bootleg that shit.
You know, it's kind of funny. You really don't even need to buy Impact Plus. If you have Pluto TV, which is a free app you can download for Android, iPhone, whatever, they have an entire channel dedicated to fucking Impact Wrestling.
Really?
And it's kind of like how WWE 24/7 on demand was at the time. where they just play constant fucking Impact shit from now all the way back to like show 1. I watched show 1 like a week and a half ago. So you really don't have to pay for fucking Impact Plus unless you want a very specific fucking thing to watch.
Do you get the new shit?
And even
Pluto?
then, 9 times out of 10, that's on YouTube.
Do you get the new shit on Pluto?
Yeah, they do show recent. They don't show like this week's episode of Impact, but it'll show like the past 2 or 3 weeks.
I got you.
You just got to catch it at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
As far as Peacock goes, and we talked about this the other day while I was watching fucking Afternoon of Champions at Blood Money Mania 10. And I know we talked about it and we've come to an agreement on it, but I kind of want Della's input if she'll quit texting for 5 seconds. Oh, there we go.
Look, I can hear you. My ears work.
Just like fuck. I ain't seen you in 3 weeks.
Turn into mom mode, and I'm gonna tell you, you have ears to listen and eyes to see. You don't need to use my ears to see anything. Just like I don't need to use my eyes to hear what you're saying. I can hear you.
Okay. Question real quick. Do you watch movies with subtitles?
What?
Do you watch movies with subtitles?
It depends on if the movie's in English or not.
Fair enough.
The first time I watched Train to Busan, it was subtitles. That was a great fucking movie.
Are we going to start doing movie reviews on here now?
We could. Anyone seen The Little Mermaid yet?
You brought up closed caption.
No. Has anybody watched Fast 10 yet?
No.
I want to. I haven't yet, though.
The ending will piss you off.
I mean,
anyway.
them sending anybody into outer space pissed me off, but
that's why she ain't been on in 3 weeks.
Mm.
Anyway, back to the Peacock thing. Like I said, me and Dark talked about this, and we kind of come to a mutual agreement on it. So, when it comes to the pay-per-views, since WrestleMania this year, if you pay the basic $4.99 subscription, they don't show the build-up to the matches. Instead, they show advertisement for Peacock.
Commercials, that shit pisses me off, and the commercials are horrible.
Yes, but if you pay the $9.99, you're able to watch the same fucking video that they showed for an hour and a half on the pre-show.
That's true.
And on Raw and SmackDown, and on YouTube. I mean, if you're wanting me to pay the extra $5 a month, give me content worth the shit to fucking actually do that for.
Mm-hmm.
Am I wrong in this? Like,
no.
What's your opinion on this shit?
Della, go ahead.
I mean, I feel you on that, but I also think that they're making you pay to be able to rewind the episode when it's live. Because basic members can't do that, and I freaking hate that, because when I have to start a show late, I can't start it from the beginning. I have to watch it while it's live. Hate that. They need to change that epically. It sucks so bad.
I mean, I would even rather them just keep the camera on where it's at. Like, I would much rather see the crowd serenade Seth for an extra 2 or 3 minutes than watch a fucking commercial.
I agree, especially a shitty commercial.
Yes. Which all Peacock commercials are shitty.
Yeah, all the Peacock commercials are shitty.
It's cack.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I ain't paid up my VPN, so I had to go back to the cock here recently. So I understand y'all's frustration. Because you don't get that shit with the WWE Network out of country. It just shows the fucking highlight shit.
Yeah.
By the way, NordVPN, if you're listening to this, sponsor us. I've emailed you motherfuckers. Sponsor us. I give you money.
Yeah. That's fucked up that he gives you money and you're not doing shit for us.
That's right.
Valid point.
Castell gets me drunk. That's why they're a sponsor. What's wrong with you?
Oh my god.
Speaking of sponsors, are you interested in starting a podcast? Podbean.com can help.
Are you interested in starting a podcast? Who isn't? Do you know how to get started? Nobody does. But you know who can help? Podbean.com. Podbean is the #1 podcast hosting site on the planet. I gotta tell you, without Podbean, we wouldn't have grown nearly as quickly as we have. They make it so simple. Sign up for an account, you pick your hosting plan. Right there on your dashboard, you can apply to all the different podcast outlets. Apple, Spotify, Google, you name it. And then when you upload your podcast to Podbean, they distribute it to all the outlets. One upload, all the action. The dashboard has all the stats. You can track your podcast. And because they want to help new podcasters out so much, they're offering our fans 1 free month of podcast hosting to get you started. All you got to do is use our affiliate code. The link is in the description and it's right here, podbean.com/HSP1 for a month of free hosting to get you started. Don't wait. You got nothing to lose. Show us your creativity. Go to Podbean, use our link, get a free month, and enjoy creating. Back to the show.
Yeah, guys.
That's a smooth fucking segue. Goddamn.
Absolutely. So, Della, what do you got for us on the ladies' side of things?
Well, we never finished talking about the AEW women's match. Now that I know that, what is her name?
Jamie Hitter.
Thank you. Jamie was injured for that entire match. I mean, it makes more sense why the match went the way it did, but that was just a clusterfuck of dumb shit.
Yeah, no, that was crazy. They should
and
have
then
just
when
put
she
it
randomly
off.
ran into the turnbuckle, and like Tony didn't even push her or anything.
No, that whole match was fucked up, and I kind of understand it because she was thinking about not hurting herself more, and you know there are other things on her mind at that point, but you didn't have to do the match.
Exactly.
You know, they could have just pulled it. They could have just simply pulled it, or they could have.
Cards are subject to change. The cards change all the time due to injury. She's injured. You know, if you don't want her to keep the title, then vacate the title and then have it be a match between Toni Storm and, I don't know, Britt Baker. I don't know.
Something.
I mean, I think it's
Anything would have been better than what they did.
A shitty way to end the title, so I've got to hold out hope that she's going to win it back in Wembley. But they didn't need the match. It could have been for the title against Toni Storm in Wembley with Jamie still holding the belt because they didn't put on that garbage match. You know, it could have easily been glossed over.
Right. And it's not like AEW has this unspoken rule of the champion has to defend every such and such day, like WWE does. So, I mean, even then, I mean, you don't even have to fucking vacate the title. You can just have her go heal her injury and do the interim champion bullshit that they've done for the AEW title. How many fucking times now?
Yeah.
How many fucking times have we had multiple AEW heavyweight champions on the same show at the same time? That was a better way to do it. That's all I'm going to say about it.
Oh, there's certainly a better way to do it. Absolutely. What else?
So I was going to talk about this last week, but I wasn't on last week's episode. So Raquel and Liv Morgan ended up vacating the titles, which just so happened to have been won by Shayna holy crap, Baszler and Ronda Rousey. However, my question would have been before that happened, are the titles cursed? Because, I mean, no one holds them for very long. And when they do hold them, they usually get injured or get fired or leave the company.
Yeah.
Technically, Sasha and Naomi walked out. They weren't fired.
That's what I said. They left the company.
She has a valid point, though, if you think about it. Like, the last long run was the first run with Bailey and Sasha.
Mm-hmm. And the day that Liv Morgan and Raquel vacated the titles was also the same day that they walked out and the titles were vacated. Mm-hmm. So a year later.
And let's be honest real quick. At this point, do those fucking belts mean a fucking thing anymore? It kind of seems like the 24/7 championship to me. They're just there to be there.
I'm tired of these thrown together fucking tag teams, man. I gotta tell you. Like, I'm glad that Cammy and Sayo, KO and Sammy have the belts now, but I'm tired of non-tag teams winning the tag team championships, men's and women's. Like, they had the Iconics, a great tag team. They've had legit female tag teams.
Mm-hmm.
And they're still just throwing people together to win the title. Like, I can't stand that shit.
Well, I think at this point, Ronda and Shayna are about the closest thing you're going to get to a legit women's tag team because they got that time in NXT together with the 4 Horsewomen or some shit like that.
Yeah.
But you're right. Everything just seems thrown together. But the thing with Sammy and Kevin is their fucking history together, and they've kind of made it known without fucking dropping names and shit. But, you know, they've tagged before. They've wrestled each other before. So it's not like, you know, they're just a thrown together tag team. They got that history.
No, sure.
We could separate, but we can always come back together if it needs to happen.
No, sure. And that's, like I said, I don't have a problem with Sammy and KO. But when you have, like, they just threw Braun and Ricochet together. Exactly. And it's like, why?
And yet you got those guys together and giving them a push, but you got guys like fucking War Machine, who you've given multiple fucking name changes to. Now they're the Viking Raiders, who've been a tag team for a better part of 10 fucking years, are a dominant fucking tag team, work better than most fucking tag teams in the company now, and they're getting shitted on every week. And then you got the fucking New Day, which I get Kofi's fucking injured right now, and Xavier's basically pulling the wagon by himself. But before he even got injured, you were still running them as 2 fucking singles instead of a tag. I mean, the dynamic's always been Kofi and Xavier were the tag, Big E was your singles, and if it had to, you know, switch one out, Big E always just took the place of one that needed to be switched out.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a problem.
Such awesome tag team talent. The fucking Schism, the Grizzled Young Vets from Schism, that tag team. They've wrestled for fucking over 10 years, and they're still fucking sitting in NXT. They should be on the main roster.
Yeah, no, I know. They have... I don't know why they've always been prejudiced against the tag team division in WWE. It's
Vince's mindset. Vince has always thought tag teams are just a build-up attraction to the main attraction. He's never liked fucking tag teams. It's been common knowledge for fucking 30 years. That's why the Bushwhackers became the fucking Bushwhackers instead of staying the Sheepherders and that fucking mentality. That's why Demolition got the fucking god-awful dominatrix looking gear. The only team that I can think of from fucking 30-something years ago to now, 2 teams, that didn't take his shit, did what they needed to do to get over, and did not give a fuck about what Vince said, was the Road Warriors and the Dudley Boys.
Yep.
You can probably argue fucking Matt and Jeff, but they were too fucking young to know what was up and what was down, especially when they got put with Michael Hayes in '99.
Yeah.
Legitimate tag teams, Road Warriors and Dudley Boys, never fucking changed their shit and always fucking did what they needed to stay a tag team. Even when they did the first brand split and they made Reverend Devon. That lasted fucking 4 months, and he was right back with fucking Bubba Ray by Survivor Series.
Right. No.
And then you got us 2 big fat asses right here. There's the makeshift tag team in the making.
Oh, fuck. We're okay. But
yeah,
tag team wrestling's an art. Like, it's not just 2 singles guys. Like, to be a tag team, you've got to... There's an art form to it.
And that's something, you know, we've had to learn because you came from a singles and I came from a single. So it was definitely a fucking learning curve. But hey, we're still undefeated.
True.
Just saying. Bookers, you want TFK on your shit? Get with us. Get with Della. She'll get with us.
So, has Rip got a final word this week?
Yeah, where is our Puerto Rican sex god?
I will alert him that you want him to come in now. But I have one more thing I want to talk about.
Oh, sure.
So a couple weeks ago when they were in Puerto Rico for Backlash, Zelina Vega made a comment about how she believes that the women's single division should have a mid-card belt for, like, you know, the mid-carders. I want an opinion. I mean, WWE has endless amounts of belts anyways right now, but we were just talking about, are the women's tag team titles needed currently? Does another mid-card belt specifically for the women even make sense?
Yes and no. You want me to go first? Or you want to go first?
No, go ahead.
Okay. So, as I said, I don't give two fucks about the tag titles. At this point, they're just throwing random people together to fucking try to make that work. It's not fucking working. And, you know, there still needs to be that workhorse title, right? Because right now, Rhea and Asuka and Becky and Bianca, and that's about it. That's going to fucking work the fucking main titles for the next 4 or 5 months. They might intertwine, they might do what the fuck ever, but that's going to be your fucking main focus. Why not just fucking lose the damn tag belts? If you want women to have more fucking championships to work for, yes, do a fucking light heavyweight, do a fucking IC, do a fucking women's television title. That gives more women fucking shit to fucking work with anyway, instead of trying to find a bitch that they have to fucking get along with for fucking 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think I tend to agree with you on that. I mean, I wouldn't add a mid-card title without getting rid of the tag titles. You know, I would. You've got 2 women's heavy top championships. I think you can do a mid-card title. It might be the television championship. It might be a title that goes back and forth. You know, a workhorse title that could be on 2 shows a week. You know,
Exactly.
you know, I don't know exactly who. You know,
Who would be the one to be the face of that division?
yeah.
I will tell you this. In WWE 2K22, my character, Della Rosa, she's named Della Rosa in the game, is currently the Intercontinental Champion. I have to face Mandy in a ladder match, but I refuse to do so because I don't know how to do a ladder match.
You've been telling me that since like November.
You know, ladder matches in that game were the trickiest shit ever. I got it.
No, they're not.
I got it down
now.
No, the Money in the Bank ladder match is the toughest match on that career mode.
But we're not talking about Money in the Bank. We're just talking about an IC title match, a 1-on-1. It's so fucking easy.
If you come and beat her for me.
Well, let's get another fucking cookout thing going, and I might come down.
I want to do one for the 4th of July. I want to do a 4th of July barbecue.
The weekend before, or the weekend after?
The weekend
Because
before.
Johnny's doing his the weekend before.
Is he still doing that? Because we don't have a group chat anymore, and I kind of forgot that man existed. So,
as far as I know, he is, but I'm working that weekend. I'm off the following.
Oh, well, I'll figure it out. I got to figure it out because we have bookings.
I'm gonna drive away with my LCCW heavyweight title.
just beat the fuck out of him and leave. Fuck it.
No, not even on my entrance. I was gonna haul ass to the car and just dip out. When you guys will get Della home, right?
Yeah, we got you.
No,
we
screw it.
got
I'm
you.
not even gonna ring announce. Just gonna leave with him. You guys are fine. This is a cookout.
And
Go-
introducing your LCCW heavyweight champion,
And you're ring announcer.
And if I got to book it, that'll be match 1. So that'll be fucked all the way around.
We'll make
CFK
our
comes out here and we'll just scatter.
Oh,
We'll
fuck
do like
that.
the Grinch. I'm gonna swing through there, grab a fish full of popcorn shrimp, and swing out of there.
Yo, speaking of Mandy Rose, like, you just had me. What the hell is Otis doing to have Mandy Rose and then Maxine Dupree?
He's best friends with Buddy Matthews.
Look, he must have a lot going on. Oh my goodness, he busted out the Mandy Rose in blue.
Hell yeah!
Dude, this toy was in the wrong box. Like it was a thing like this for like $2.99, but it was supposed to be plushies. Somebody had dumped a bunch of like figurines in there. So literally I paid like $2.99 for this when it was supposed to be like a $20 figure.
Hell yeah! That's what I'm
Nice.
talking about. That's good shit.
Thank you, Walmart.
All right, Rip, you got a final thought for us this week?
I don't know if you guys saw, but that match with I feel like I don't know if you guys talked about this already. I just feel like the match with Jericho and Adam Cole, right? Yes. I feel like that match had so much more potential.
So much more.
And I just
You're
don't
totally
feel
right.
like they went. I mean, the Wizard's back,
You're a wizard, Jericho.
but I just when I yeah, you know, like,
It's a little bit of the bubbly.
so for me I was really looking forward to that matchup. I was really, hoping to see a lot more, out of them too, especially with, what was at stake, if somebody's, over here disrespecting Della and, I'm supposed to take his freaking head off, I'm going to take his head off. And the whole aspect of Paige,
Saraya.
Saraya.
Yeah.
I still owe Monet the apology as well, because I keep calling her Sasha.
It's okay. I wrote Sasha Banks in my book, and then I had to cross it out and write Mercedes Monet.
Yeah.
So.
I don't understand why she's involved, and her coming out to beat him, it just.
Well,
I felt like that spot was so unneeded.
Which spot?
Between her coming out, I mean, great, get your licks in, because I mean he deserved that, but I just feel like that was completely unnecessary.
Well,
It was, but it was also a way to put Saraya on the pay-per-view in front of people without booking her in the match. I think that's what that just boiled down to.
could be that.
And it's like we talked about earlier with the fucking chain. With shit like that, I mean, I've worked dog collar matches. Y'all seen it happen. I've worked dog collar matches before that. You can't control every inch of that fucking chain. Shit's gonna foul up somehow, some way. That's just the risk that you take with it.
Mm.
I think there could have been a different way for you to do the chain gimmick. Maybe for one, not make it so goddamn long. That bitch was fucking 20-some foot long.
Yeah,
mean, shit.
6-foot chain will do the gimmick.
Yeah, maybe a 10-foot chain just to keep him just far enough away from you to do your shit, but close enough to where he can't run away. It was just too much shit to try to get into a 15-minute slot.
Yeah.
And one thing that confused the fuck out of me, and I said it to him while we were watching it in Orange Park, was they unlocked Cole with a fucking key, but they brought out fucking bolt cutters for Jericho when the key's 5 foot from him.
Yeah. No, that's.
How in the fuck? Why?
For dramatic effect.
Yeah,
Then-
you know what the dramatic effect was? Us getting our fat asses up, walking all the way down the stairs again, and leaving.
That was dramatic. Like,
That
fuck
was.
this shit. We're out of here.
Things and stuff that shoots out of things. I thought that it was funny at the end of Anarchy in the Arena. I don't remember who it was. One of the Young Bucks super kicked.
Oh, the super
Yeah,
exploding super
and
kick.
Exploded.
It only exploded once.
I'm pretty sure that it was supposed to be multiple explosions. That's why he ended up kicking Yoda. Is his name?
Not gonna lie.
Yuta?
Yuta.
We
Yuta?
left. We left.
Yeah,
before
I
the
think
match.
he kicked him multiple times. There's supposed to be multiple explosions on that as well.
That was a fuck
Well,
up.
I mean, we've seen how they deal with the barbed wire exploding death matches. So, were you really expecting shit to go right?
I don't know what you're
With this?
talking about. That was the best match ever.
Such good
It's
shit.
such a good match.
Such good shit.
It almost killed Eddie Kingston. How can you say it's such a good match?
I
Such
could
good shit.
have. I could have.
A man almost died.
That was so easy to cover, and I can't believe they.
Eddie did cover him very well.
No, that the whole fuck up could have easily been covered. All right, that was a decent match up until the end when the shit didn't explode. All right, all they had to do was have Callus and what's his name? Omega cackling on the mic, being like, "We wanted to beat you, but we didn't want to fucking kill you. You know, why would we, we're not that kind of an animal. We didn't want to kill you." So they could have turned it into a huge joke instead of, "I got PTSD and I didn't know." Fuck you. That was so lame.
I mean, they could even went the direction of, where they kind of sort of did, where it was like, oh, this guy sucks so bad he can't even build a proper death ring or whatever the heck. And they could have built it up to, oh, yeah, well, I'm going to build mine. And, they do it the right way this time. And, but I'm pretty sure with that exploding super kick, though, I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be multiple explosions. And that's why he ended up hitting him with 3 super kicks, because that the next sequences was like, you can kind of tell he has a brief moment where he's like, all right, let's try this one more time. If not, fuck off.
Bang.
It's all about the boom, all about the bang.
That's right.
Speaking of PTSD, do you think Chris Jericho still has PTSD of orange juice?
Off of what?
I mean, I'm sure he doesn't
Orange
drink
juice.
it all.
Remember when he had that match with Orange Cassidy and he got thrown into the giant ass pool of orange juice
It was
Oh
the
my
mimosa
God.
match.
or mimosa? What the fuck ever?
A little bit of the bubbly.
It was
Little
a
bit of the bubbly.
something.
It was a mimosa match. They mixed the bubbly with orange juice.
Thank you, COVID.
Look, I would not have PTSD. I would gladly have jumped in there myself and started
I would
drinking it.
willingly.
I'd need a straw so I could just sip.
You couldn't drown me in that shit. You couldn't drown me because drinking that shit like crazy.
Well, luckily, it was all in Jacksonville. I could have got you all home at a decent time.
All right, guys, my dinner's calling.
Same
All right, brother.
here, my guy.
So, for Draven Grimes, De La Rosa, and Rip Ruiz, I'm Dark Cordz, and we will see you on the next one. Peace.
Gang, gang.